we know by the reading. You know, when we come across the word Babylon, you know, we know when it's talking about ancient pagan Babylon as opposed to the daughter Babylon. We know that. Christians don't know it. Christians are clueless. Vocab has no clue as to what's going on. Christians in general have no clue as to what's going on. This whole Crown Royale 2020, the machinations, the 5G, why do they shut down certain areas in this country and around the world? There's a big major shutdown in London, England. Going back 7, 8, 9 months ago, we had the curfews. Now there was a reason why you had the curfews, and it had nothing to do with if you're out there at a certain time at night. The Crown Royale 2020 is more potent. No, there was another reason behind it. You know, when you understand these things, you put the pieces of the puzzle together. You understand what the 5G is all about. You understand what the pandemic is all about. You understand why they putting restrictions on restaurants and certain mom and pop establishments, but you have companies like the big box store, the Amazon. These super rich companies became that much richer. There's a term, going back to the ancient Roman Empire, and the term is, and I did a video on this, called cui bono. And cui bono loosely stand for means who stands to benefit. Qui is like who, and bono benefits or gets for free. So while everybody's catching hell and losing money because they can't work, the super rich, really not the super rich, the middle super rich, like the Bezoses and the Gates, you know, they're standing to make billions. I believe it was over $1 trillion. You know, there's an old saying, I don't know, I forget who said it. If somebody knows, they can put it in the comment section of the video. I don't know if it was the Rockefellers or one of the Rothschilds. I believe it was one of the Rockefellers that made the statement, competition is a sin. Do you know what that means? That means if you're selling hamburgers for $1, a person might want to, you know, compete with you, so they'll say, we'll sell a hamburger, same hamburger, for 95 cents. So what is that going to do? That's going to cause the people to go to them. Same thing when you go to a gas station. You see the price of gas, you know, $2.19, but then 2 blocks down, and you know the area, the gas is $1.95. Where's going to be the longer line? The one that's for $1.95. That's called competition. So what you have to do is in order for a few major companies to become super rich, is to get rid of the competition, and that's what they're doing. So these non-essential things, you go to BJ's or whatever, you can't buy non-essential things, but you can buy food and toilet paper, but you can't buy toys, and you can't buy a blender, and you can't buy shoes. But you can go to Amazon and you can order food, you can order anything you want, essential or non-essential, and you get it. And they even exempted the workers at Amazon plants, and a lot of them would call themselves suffering from the Crown Royale 2020, but they didn't give a damn. You know, it makes me think about, you know, Johanna and him, you know, saying go ahead and take the vaccination, which everybody got on him about it. And the first thing that we said is definitely sold out, because you didn't even know what's in the vaccination. or the Maxine. So now let's read this again. Habakkuk 2 verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting a proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. That's talking about Esau. Everything that he received outside of Mount Seir, he stole it. He stole it, man. It says, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now the word clay means depth. Because everything that they do is based upon depth. 7th verse. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because ultimately, it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, they shall not regard their king or their princes, and they shall have the upper hand. I'm merely paraphrasing. But people that are starving, that can't get a meal, they're wondering when their next meal is gonna come in. And now a big thing is this moratorium on rents. It's gonna end in another week, a week and change, December 31st. And as soon as January 1st come in, January 2nd, the first week of January, they're gonna be putting out they're gonna have them sheriffs putting out them notices, man. And that's gonna cause more turmoil in this country. Going back 10, 15, 20 years, you watching the news of these different countries, the people rioting and going up against the police. That's happening over here. They happen over here. We're going back 5-6 months ago, and it's really going to happen when they allow this rent moratorium to expire. There's going to be blood in the street, man. There's going to be people starving to death. There's going to be the scripture says in 2nd Ezra 15, they shall not regard their neighbors for the lack of bread. So now what y'all should have did, I mean, we trust in the Most High. Ultimately we trust in the Most High. When everything's said and done, we trust in the Most High. And we're going to be stabilized pursuant to Isaiah 33 verse 6, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to be stabilized because we're going to trust in the Most High. The Most High is going to make a way, but at the same time, you got to kind of prepare mentally too. That's why I said months ago, I did a couple of videos on silver and gold. Not that silver and gold is going to save you, because if you have money in the bank, let's say you have $10,000 in the bank, that $10,000 can buy you $10,000 worth of stuff. Well, in a hyperinflationary period, that $10,000 might be able to buy you 10% of the stuff that you could before hyperinflation. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go here. Because I said I didn't put no precepts together. I just said let me go with the Spirit. James chapter 5 is coming to full effect right now. So I'm over here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, I'll start from the top. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. the main thing that we're supposed to be doing is prophesying, going out there on the highways and the byways, doing these sit downs for the sake of who? For the sake of the elect, not for the sake of all Israel. 2/3 of Israel is going to get caught out here. They're going to starve. They're going to commit the act, the heinous act of cannibalism, because they're going to lose. They're going to have nothing left to lose. Things are going to get worse. So they're not going to wake up to it. You know, when you tell them that they're Israelite, they're going to look at you like you got 3 heads. So when we go out there in the spirit of power, in the spirit and power of, when we speak to somebody, he's one of the elect. When we speak to that woman, she's one of the elect, because the women are of the elect too. And that's in the hopes that if she's one of the elect and her husband's one of the elect, then their children are part of the elect. It said, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity, the unbelief or disbelief of them that trouble thee, your Israelites that trouble you, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And that's starting with the house of Israel. Now let me jump down here. I'll go to the 14th verse. Woe to the world and none that dwell therein. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day swords are your guns, your 9mm, your AK-47s. If you was in the military, you might have had a M16 rifle, or what is this one, AR-15, and they're going to actually use it because they're going to be so desperate that they're going to go into other people, they're going to go into their neighbors' houses, and they're going to stick up their neighbors and take what they got. They're going to say, we know you got something downstairs in the basement. We know you got some food hidden because you were bragging about it. So people are going to be so desperate that they're going to be going to other people's houses and invading them. All because of this system. All because of, and this is the plan of Esau. See, we read this before this happened, and we're saying, in the back of your mind, you're saying, well, how can America run out of food? Because it was planned that way. It says 16th verse, for there shall be sedition among men. And when you look up the word sedition, it means to speak words to get people riled up to do something. And invading of one another, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. They're not going to regard the government. You know, the last hurrah was to see if you Edomites, that you can put Trump back in there. And Trump lost, but Trump is crying foul, which we don't know. We don't have access to that information. So now Trump is talking about declaring martial law. And if he can do it, he will do it. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning their leaders, the government leader, Congress, the Senate, the governors, the president. People are just going to lose it, man. It says, and the course of their actions, whose actions? The people bugging out, losing it, shall stand in their power.